The purpose of this video is to give a quick tutorial on how to use my AutoTabGroups Chrome extension. To start with, we'll give a quick overview of what it is and what it does. I will also put timestamps for the relevant section of the tutorial for those of you that wish to skip ahead. So in this example, we have two rules set, one for shopping and one for work/productivity. So if I visit any website with Amazon or eBay in the URL, it'll go to the shopping tab group. And if I go to anything with Gmail or Office in the URL, it'll go into the work/productivity tab group. And here's an example of each of those in action. You'll notice that when I search for forward, it doesn't sort it because it's not in a rule. So now we will add a rule. We'll use the shopping example we used earlier. And to put in multiple rules, you can separate them by commas. So we'll type in Amazon and eBay and give it a color of green and click Save to save that rule. So now anytime we type in Amazon or eBay, it'll go into the shopping group like so. If you try to add a rule and save it, leaving everything blank or partially filled out, it'll throw an error telling you everything needs to be filled out to save a rule. And to escape that, you can click Go Back or just close out of the window entirely. You can also add as many rules as you want. Now here's an example on how to update an existing rule you set. First, you click on the checkbox, then the Select button. Then you can change the fields you want to change. We'll change eBay to Walmart and the color to yellow, and click Save. So now when we visit any websites with Amazon or Walmart, it'll go into a list called Shopping with the color of yellow. If you try to select or update a rule before it's picked, it will throw an error message because you have to click the checkbox first. And you can click the X button or outside of the error message and try again. To delete a rule, first you select the rule you want to delete, then click on Delete Groups. You can click Go Back or X to cancel, or Confirm to confirm the deletion of the rule. If you try to delete a rule without selecting one first, it'll give you an error message saying you have to select a rule before you're allowed to delete one. You can also delete multiple rules at once by selecting multiple rules. To get to the settings page, open the extension pop-up window and click on the gear in the top right corner. Here we have two settings that you can change and two buttons that allow you to save and load your rules into a file that you can download. Zoom view is a checkbox that allows you to enlarge the pop-up window when it is checked. Here's an example of what it looks like normally. Here's an example with the zoom view checked. The next setting is a checkbox for merge tabs from other windows, which is checked by default. And this means that if you visit a website that follows a rule, even if it's in another browser window, it'll group everything into the same browser window. Here's an example of the default behavior where it groups a tab from one window into the main window. And here's an example where we uncheck merge tab and it groups the tabs in separate windows this time. If you click the Save Your Group Rules button, it saves your rules locally to a JSON file on your computer. If you try to save your group rules and you don't have any set in the pop-up window, it'll throw an error message telling you to set rules in the pop-up window first. Click to load your group rules, then a file that you previously saved to load those rules into the extension. If you try to load an incorrect file type or a file with incorrect data, it'll throw an error message. The contents of the file need to be in a certain format, and the best way to make sure of that is just to use the Save Your Group Rules button and to not mess with the file. The final part of this extension is keyboard shortcuts. By default, the extension uses Ctrl-Shift and Y to close all tab groups, Ctrl-Shift and H to open all tab groups, and Ctrl-Shift and U to toggle them open or closed. If you don't like these shortcuts, you can change them. If you're using Brave like me, you can find the shortcuts at brave:/extensions/shortcuts, or if you're on Chrome, it'll be chrome:/extensions/shortcuts. On this page, you can click on the pencil icon and change whichever keyboard shortcuts you want to. In the description of this video, I left a link to download the extension and to the GitHub for those of you interested. Well, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you find the extension useful.